Hello, and welcome back to the Office Field Guide. Today we're looking at episode 12 of season 2 entitled The Injury. The original name for this episode was going to be I Grilled My Foot.
I burned my foot!
But NBC and Mindy Kaling deemed it too weird of an idea. It was written by Mindy Kaling and directed by Brian Gordon, who also directed the season 1 episode The Alliance. The setup for this one is that Michael is stalled getting into the office because he burned his foot on a George Foreman grill, and Dwight, while attempting to rescue Michael, gets a concussion. This episode aired on January 12, 2006, and was viewed by 10.3 million people, making it, at the time, the highest rated episode in the series so far. So let's fire up this grill.
No one asked you anything ever?
Coming off such an overproduced and serious episode like the Booze Cruise, The Injury is a break from the subplots of season 2, giving us just the bare essentials of an Office episode. A simple and solid execution of a premise is all the episode is attempting to give us. Novak said that this is one of his favorite episodes, and the original premise of this one just spun out of control from the writer's room. The original plan was for Michael to fall asleep in the sun, wearing sunscreen everywhere except his feet, which I absolutely think is hilarious, and I almost wish they would have done it. I'm sure they had a little bit of Kramer in mind when they were working through this episode. Okay, so Marcus York, who plays the property manager, said that he was so anxious about doing his lines, he practically forgot them during his first run-through.
Really hard for you to... Shit. Okay.
But according to an interview in People magazine in 2010, York mentioned that he received a lot of positive fan letters about his performance in the Injury episode. And lastly, about production stuff, John Krasinski said that the best part of filming this episode was the sequence in the van, which, to be honest, spraying Rainn Wilson and Steve Carell in the face with a water bottle would just be pretty great.
No!
Give the bottle to Michael.
No!
Give the bottle to Michael.
Give it to me. No. Just keep your eyes on the road. Give me the bottle or you're fired.
You can't fire me. I don't work in this van.
Okay, so other than that, I do try to call out some cultural references in this. Does everyone know what a George Foreman grill is? These things got super popular in the mid-90s, I think. I was really excited when we got ours as a kid. They're just basic, simple electric griddles with those lines in it to make paninis and meat, but you get the grill line too. It's supposed to be healthier because the grease slips down off the pan, and it's supposed to be easier because the grilling surface is really easy to clean. And for some reason, George Foreman, a 2-time heavyweight champion boxer, has his name all over it. I don't really know why they chose a Foreman grill, but Michael's explanation of how he injured his foot, it sounds like the writer's room just went crazy. Yet somehow, when Carell delivers this line, you just know that this is a thing Michael Scott would actually do.
Today, I got up, I stepped onto the grill, and I clamped down on my foot. That's it. I don't see what's so hard to believe about that.
And this is why I love The Office so much. A few episodes ago in the Christmas party, we heard this exchange about the video iPod.
And also, Roy got me an iPod, or was going to get me an iPod, so...
But in the Injury episode, we see Pam says,
"They're like an iPod, only they're better because they're chunkier and more solid."
Roy gave it to me for Christmas. I'm trying to figure out how to put songs on it.
I don't think Pam is necessarily complaining, but she is shocked that Dwight knows the name of the off-brand device. And that's all we get for this exchange. Nothing more is said. It's things like this that reward the audience for remembering the smallest details of the show to see how these things will come back again. And look, I'm not really commenting on Roy's gift giving. Honestly, a video iPod is pretty expensive, but I'm not quite sure how expensive it was.
This is $400.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you left the price tag off.
I did?
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, that's right. $400 is a pretty expensive gift for a warehouse worker to give as a Christmas gift. I think where Roy did go wrong was opening his mouth in the first place. Either he was using this as an opportunity to make his intentions of a Christmas gift seem better than they were, having never planned on giving Pam a video iPod in the first place, or he really did think that this was just an out for him. Either way, his comment in the Christmas party is probably what got him in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, I was gonna get you one of these for Christmas. I don't have to. It'd save a ton of money.
So what are you going to get me instead?
I don't know, like a sweater or something?
And I fear bringing this up because I can't really verify it. I looked around on the Wayback Machine. I really couldn't come up with a more conclusive answer for you. So if anybody in the audience knows, feel free to leave it in the comments. But I found a website for the Prism DuoSport device that Pam received. Though it doesn't seem to have any affiliation with The Office, but after clicking around for a bit, it's pretty clear that it's a joke website. But the Wayback Machine has this content dating way back before this episode even aired. So I'm not really sure what to make of any of it. I'll leave the link in the description. It seems to have been updated. Is this a real company? I'm not really sure, but it was bizarre enough for me to call this out. But with that, let's get into the deeper meaning.
Why don't you explain this to me like I'm 5?
Alright, so the thesis of the injury episode. Well, so far the office has tackled downsizing, sexual harassment, racism, and now we're looking at disabilities. And in all fairness, I don't think this episode is actually a serious look at disabilities at all. What's actually happening here is that the writers are juxtaposing Michael's minor injury to a real disability. So with everything presented in this episode, I don't think there's a ton to really sink our teeth into. It's pretty surface. But there is a clear message. Michael is making everyone miserable due to a minor injury. Comparing that to Dwight and his concussion and the property manager's disability, who seem genuinely to the point and trying to get their jobs done, and also make other people's day better. So in essence, I think the message here is to be kind to people, whether they have grill marks on their feet, they're in a wheelchair, or they have issues going on inside that we can't even see. And that's where this episode kind of excels. Where episodes like Halloween paint Michael as a terrible person all day long, yet shoehorn in this moment of hope, the injury paints him as a terrible person all day long, but is faced with a moment of altruism that genuinely impacts him and Dwight's day for the better.
Michael went in there with him too. It's pretty sweet.
Really? Michael went in with him?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But they shouldn't be much longer now, so we'll be back soon.
Or I don't know, maybe this whole episode could exist for this doctor's response.
Does the skin look red and swollen?
That's what she said.
That's my joke. Damn it, Dwight.
And there's probably also something to be said about how Dwight takes on various other people's characteristics while he had a concussion. His demeanor with Pam becomes significantly more Jim-like.
These covers are totally indestructible.
Really?
Yeah, throw it. I promise it won't break. Chuck it.
He doesn't seem to care about his secret relationship with Angela.
'Cause you're sweeter than candy.
What is wrong with you?
And then the aforementioned stealing of Michael's joke. The Office is an endless well of analytical material, but with that, let's award some Dundies.
And then I gotta get him to the Dundies.
The Dundie for the episode continuity goes to Brian Gordon. Really, for this reason alone.
So, I guess Pam and Dwight are friends now.
Oh, God, no. Dwight isn't my friend. Oh my God, Dwight's kind of my friend.
While Michael's taking the conference room as his triage center, each of the talking heads that are done during this time take place in random places in the office. It's little details like this that I love. And the Dundie for the second time breaking character in the series goes to Angela Kinsey and Brian Baumgartner.
Lord of the Ring trilogy, if you see it back to back. It's good.
I mean, this has to be breaking character, right? I don't think Angela Martin is ever that friendly to Kevin. But with that, let's get to some ratings.
What gives you the right?
Okay, so the moment you've been waiting for. The rating for this cold opening is a solid 3 out of 5. This cold opening has high energy, it's funny, it's well paced, and essentially sets up the entire episode. I'd give this a 4 out of 5, but really, I'd save those for truly memorable cold openings. This one to me is great, it hits on all cylinders, but it just misses something truly memorable. Having said that, I also want to give a shout out to everything that had to work to make this shot perfect. It's a mixture of directing, timing cues, cinematography, and acting. Michael mentioning Ryan, and then he comes into focus. It's just so well done.
Pam, could you come get me?
I have to stay here and answer the phone.
Okay, could someone come and get me, please, Ryan?
Michael, you should stay home and rest.
There's no toilet paper here. Could Ryan? Tell Ryan to bring toilet paper. Could you tell him that?
As for the episode itself, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 5. It's got some great bits, and is overall extremely more relatable than the Booze Cruise episode. As such, it nudged its way up to 3 out of 5. Overall, it's not one of my favorites, but it is a solid episode of The Office. It's crazy to think that this was the most viewed episode in the series up to this point. They were probably super excited about that. But I want to hear what you have to say about this episode. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, it definitely helps me out. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also consider sharing this channel with another Office addict that you may know. Alright, I'm done begging. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
When I wake up, I plug in the grill. I go back to sleep again. Then I wake up to the smell of crackling bacon. It is delicious, it's good for me, it's a perfect way to start the day.
I burned my foot!